So you see me on Classic, and Classic Fresh will come out this week. So I'm gonna talk about a few reasons why I will be playing Classic Fresh. First and foremost, why am I playing Classic instead of Retail right now? I'm kind of tired of Retail. I think I'm like burned out. I think a lot of people are. It's not necessarily because of the MMR. It's not necessarily because Soul Shuffle or Soul RPGs or 3v3 or 2v2. I think it's a combination of everything. Seeing queues is not fun for me anymore. It was fun at the start because I didn't really care, but now I work, now I have family, now I have hobbies, now I have also content creation. I can't be bothered like getting like queues after 30 minutes of sitting in queue, or sometimes after 5 minutes, or sometimes after 1 minute. It is too random for me to enjoy. If it was not random, it's always like, look, 10 minutes and you get a queue every single time. It would be less, how can I say, straining. It's weird because I want just a pattern like, look, you can expect a queue in 10 minutes. That's something very, very reasonable, right? But sometimes I get a queue after 1 minute, sometimes I get a queue after 10 minutes, sometimes I get a queue after 30 minutes, sometimes I don't get the queue at all and I just log off because I don't have time anymore. And it kind of sucks. And yes, you could play healer, but I did the experiment, I don't like healing. That's it. It is just what it is at the end of the day. So I want to say a few reasons why I will be playing Classic. I will be still playing Retail. Don't worry about that, please. Like, don't say like, why are you quitting Retail? No, I'm not quitting Retail. I will never probably quit Retail. Just is like, look, right now I don't feel like playing Retail until they fix a few things that I'm like getting bored out. Um, why am I playing Classic? Well, Classic Fresh will come out with faction balance, and that I think I would not be playing Classic if they didn't say that. I would like, oh, okay, nice. Well, I'll be checking it out. But now with faction balance, it means that the open world PvP will be a bit more fair in a unfair world. Again, world PvP is always unfair. You're not going to engage someone that you're going to know that you're going to lose. If you are a warrior and you're trying to engage on a mage, well, you are bound to probably lose that matchup. You could still do that, but in general, if a warrior sees a mage, they just run away before they get engaged on. That's the unfairness. The mage would just do a frostbolt on you and you got no charge because you're like pre-level 30, or if you're level 30 you have interception, but he would just blink out. So you have the unfairness in the world. But the fairness would be that the balancing is going to be pretty much equal. So if there are 10 alliances on like the BRM map, there would normally be 10 horde normally, except if for some reason you don't see alliance because they do something else. I don't know, but in STV or whatever zone you're going to play in, you're going to have kind of an equal like footing between alliance and horde. And that's something that I really liked at phase 1 classic 2019, where I was on Mograine. That was the server I was on, and it was a good server until they opened phase 2 with transfers for some reason, and they killed off the horde, the alliance side. And I was alliance, and I was versus horde, and everyone was leaving the server because obviously the server was going to die alliance side. So we would leave on Earthshatter and Earthshaker, and Earthshaker is a alliance server. So Horde was gone. There was no open world PvP, and the few open world PvP that would be there is literally like fighting the few bots that are still there for some reason, farming gold or farming whatever mats that they're doing to sell it off for RMT. So it was not fun. The open world aspect was so big for me. It was so fun, but it was gone from like the game, and this kind of made me like quit overtime classic, right? I was quitting classic at the phase 6 with Naxxramas. I didn't do Naxxramas because told myself like, I'm not bothered with it. And there was the new expansion coming out, and I told myself like, okay, never mind, I'm not gonna play that. But now with Classic Fresh, you will have faction balance. It will be enforced. So it means that if Alliance side is too much, there are too many people at Alliance, they're going to stop the possibility to create a character on Alliance. And the same for Horde. So that would be making it very balanced, and it would be that the open world PvP is going to be very, very active. But also no transfers because there is only one PvP server available. They might open a second one, but the second one will also be faction balanced, and at one point they're going to merge both servers. I would recommend you guys to stick with the first server so you don't have a merge or whatever that is needed. Just play with the first server and go with that. That's how I would do. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about the few quality of life changes that they're going to do, Chrono Boon and LFG tool, which is very much needed, because then you don't need to use the add-on for the bulletin board, which is pretty neat. I look forward to the slowness that everyone is level 1 and we're leveling to level 60, and you see like in STV some PvP going on because someone started ganking, and then it's an open world warfare. I still remember in 2019 that in STV we were with 20 alliance, we were in a raid group versus another 20 hordes, and we were between level 25 and level 40s in the group. I was with my friends. It started out because someone ganked me. I told my friends, you have to come because they're literally 2 on me, and I don't want to sit in gray screen for the whole evening, because I didn't want to log off, but I also didn't want to keep on fighting them 1v2 while I didn't have any chance to recuperate HP I was losing. So I told my friends to come, they came, then it became a 3 versus 2, and then they told their friends to come with their guildies. A whole guild came to STV, and our own guild came to STV. It became a 20 versus 20 the whole night, and it was so good. I lost a whole night of XP, but I didn't care. I had the PvP. I was playing druid. I felt like I could off heal. Sometimes I were bear form, doing a slap, bird charging because I was playing feral. Like I was leveling as a feral SPEC because it is just faster and you have faster movement speed or whatever. So it was very fun. It was very active, and I really still remember till this day. And 2019 was also the year where my firstborn was born. So it was also a very good year in general. I still remember Azuragos. We did world boss, and my guild was there. A few alliance guilds was there because we wanted to down Azuragos. But there was also a horde, and we fought like a battle for the whole night, literally for the world boss. And we did tag them. We didn't get any loot for because we didn't tag it. It was another alliance group, but we fought so hard the horde back that it was literally a battlefield of people literally like losing life here and there. It was very neat. I still remember like the fun times I had with PvP, and I still remember BRM, like getting to a raid was very much hard because people would like gank on the way, but then become like again a world fight at BRM. And now it's way better because you have Chrono Boon, so you're not scared of losing your buffs anymore. So it doesn't really matter if you're dying on the way or if you're doing PvP on the way. It is a fun thing, and I look forward to that in Classic Fresh. And why I think what you're going to say is like, don't you care about the gameplay? The gameplay is super stale. You only have to press Frostbolt in MC. You have to only press Shadowbolt and put your curses as a warlock. As a hunter, you would melee weave. I think a hunter gameplay is quite good, but you have to melee weave, sometimes aim shot, and then have like a cast like a auto shot bar for your hunter, so you know when to do multi shot, how when to do aim shot. Like I really enjoy that. I don't care about like having to press one button the whole night, although it's very boring. I think Classic is a holistic game. I think in PvP you don't only press one button. And yes, it is rock paper scissors gameplay. Yes, a warrior has probably no chance to win versus a mage if the mage is doing like similar gameplay as a warrior. That's true. But that's kind of the charm of Classic. I think the possibility to see, look, it's not only a 1v1, but if your warrior is with a healer, he is like top notch. He's doing well. If a mage is with a rogue, then it becomes like a very much a CC machine. And that's something that I really like to see in Classic. That's something I like to play. And if you're a warrior and you have engineering, you have your consumes, you can also be a killing machine. So you have tools that makes the gameplay enhanced, and having engineering stuff is like opening up a lot of possibilities for you. So I really like Classic. I really like Classic Fresh. I'm going to play it. Hopefully you're going to join me as well on it. I will be playing on the world PvP. I will be playing in the PvP server. for sure in EU. So if you want to gank me, you can always gank me if you want to. If you want to play with me, you can play with me. But I look forward to it. And no, I'm not gonna play HC. I'm not going to serve the wave of only flanks because I don't really care about that. But I do care about PvP. I do care about the leveling. I do care about the PvE. I do care about professions. I do care about like trying to farm some gold. I feel like I care a bit more on classic than whenever I'm playing on retail. Retail is like, uh, I'm gonna like get the gear and then I'm gonna start do what I do best. It is PvP. But I don't engage with Mythic Plus because I can't be bothered with the grouping, like searching a group and like again getting grouped up for a Mythic Plus. I don't care about that. I don't care about guilds because who cares about guilds? You don't really need guilds anymore. Who cares about raiding? Because I don't get any benefits from raiding towards my PvP. While in Classic, even though the gearing is like fully about raiding and dungeons and sometimes ranking up, and yes, it is frustrating for people that would only want to PvP, but I feel like Classic, if you're playing Classic, you play for the whole game. You're not playing for only PvP, you're not playing only for PvE, but you're playing for both, or you're playing for the leveling, you're playing for the social aspect, you're playing for the guild, you're playing for all the aspects that are tied towards Classic. And that's something that is fantastic, which I miss in retail. And being able to do MC, getting a tier piece, and have like fun afterwards in PvP because I got like new pieces. Now I feel way stronger. Is something that is not able to be described if you're playing in retail. In retail, you don't have that. I don't feel like one piece is really doing anything. Like I don't feel like whenever I'm a warrior, I get a two-hander. It does nothing towards my damage. Nothing scales with weapon damage anymore. And that's something I kind of miss. Like, I kind of want, again, weapons to be meaningful again. That is not the case. Like, getting a two-hander is nowadays just a stat stick. That's the truth, because everything is scaling with AP or with spell power. And how do you get AP or spell power? By getting strength. Not by getting your two-hander weapon swing damage being higher. Because Moral Strike is not scaling with your weapon anymore. Your melee whites is literally just like bloat. You just remove it from your add-on that is like a numbers add-on. Like for example, classic numbers. You remove every single number that is below 100, for example. So your melee whites, you don't even see them anymore. But in classic, a melee white could create as much as a yellow hit, which is for example your heroic strike or whatever. Which is like, it is kind of RNG, but it is also like, it's fun to see. Like if you're hitting with your warrior, it feels like you're really hitting someone. While in retail, if you're not pressing a button but you're just hitting the character, it feels like you're doing nothing, which is, I think, weird in a sense. But I understand why they did that in retail and why they do that on retail, because then skill is more expressive. But I feel like that is something I would like to go back to. So yeah, that's hopefully you do understand. Hopefully you're also excited about Classic. Why not? I still think it's the best MMORPG to date. I don't think retail is an MMORPG anymore. Or at least I don't see it like this anymore. Especially as a PvPer, I'm only interacting with Soul Shuffle and solo queue RPGs, and even then, it's like queue times. It's partly my fault. I'm not doing twos or threes anymore because I think the rewards are not like in the way that I would like them to be. Especially in twos, if they put like a recolor mount, why not? It could be then interesting to do twos. But I'm kind of tired of doing threes. I'm tired of like trying to find a partner, trying to like again be motivated to climb. It feels like a slog as well. So I'm actually satisfied about Classic, and I'll be playing it. I'm going to enjoy my time leveling. I'm going to enjoy my time PvPing while leveling. I'm going to enjoy the dungeons. I'm going to enjoy the pieces that I'm going to get, and the feeling of getting a big piece. Having the feeling of putting an enchant, I feel like, oh, dude, I got Crusader on my two-hander. It's going to be lit, kind of feel. Or doing AV, doing the rep grinds again. It feels like it's something that is missing in retail, and I know it's convenient to have gear pretty fast and to not have gear that much matter in PvP, but I kind of feel like I miss having gear being like something that matters, because it's a reward itself and everyone can get the reward. But now it feels like there is no reward anymore. It's purely about the gameplay, which is fine. The gameplay is cool, but if the gameplay is failing, for example, the balancing is failing, whatever, it feels like everything is failing. And if the queue times are not popping, then it feels like there is no gameplay as well. While classic, it feels like gameplay is always there. And I can guarantee you guys, whenever you're going to get level 60 and you want to do a Warsong Gulch or AB or AV, it will pop directly because people will be engaging with that. While in retail, if you want to do a random G, you're going to sit a queue. If you want to do splits, you're going to sit a queue. If you're going to do soul shuffle, you're going to sit 30 minutes queues. And it's not fun. The higher you go, the less fun it becomes as well, because the queue times are very long and then the stress is higher. That's why a lot of people are doing like alts, because then you don't need to have long queues and you don't need to be confronted towards the eventual losing lobbies. That's why you have multiple people that are like having like multiple warlocks or multiple mages, multiple warriors, so you don't have that queue anxiety. But anyways, I digress. I will be playing Classic Fresh. I'm making like content on the second channel. Maybe I'll also do some content on the primary channel. For sure, Mr. Pandaria will have content on the primary channel as well, because it is PvP. But maybe on the secondary channel as well. The secondary channel is doing fantastic, by the way, so please take a look. It's in the description if you want to. But I'm looking forward to, man. I'm actually like, I don't want to say I'm done with retail, but like currently I'm really done with retail. I just want to play Classic, and if I'm not playing Classic, I'm playing Warzone, literally. Like even right now, I'm not playing retail, I'm playing Warzone, because I like the effectiveness of playing the game instead of like waiting. And even Classic, you don't really wait too much. Like you're waiting maybe for a group to be formed or whatever, but it feels like you're engaging with people while doing so. While sitting in queue on social, I'm just alt tabbing, man. Like I know I could do way more, like for example, world PvP while waiting or doing gathering or whatever, but it feels like it is not as much as in Classic, man. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel as good as in Classic. World PvP at least. It's weird, but that's how I feel. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.